Imagine this. At McGill University in Montreal, one of the most prestigious research institutions on the planet, scientists are working on a study that sounds like it's been ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie.
They've apparently built a device, this incredibly sophisticated brain scanner, that can literally read people's minds and maybe even implant thoughts directly into their heads. The goal? It was revolutionary. To help kids who are suffering from all kinds of debilitating disorders, everything from ADHD to chronic migraines. But I gotta tell you, the story here, it's not at all what you think.
Because that machine, well, it's fake. It's a total prop, completely non-functional. So if the technology is a sham, how in the world did it help anyone? Well, stick with me, because the real science here is so much more fascinating than any sci-fi gadget.
What this study is really about is the huge, and I mean huge, power of our own minds, a power we often completely underestimate. It's about our faith in science, the power of suggestion, and one of the most mysterious phenomena in all of medicine, the placebo effect.
Okay, so what is it? Put simply, a placebo is something that shouldn't have any real medical effect, like a sugar pill. But, and this is the crazy part, because we believe it's going to work, it often does. It can trigger real, actual, physical healing, all orchestrated by our own brain.
But here's where it gets even weirder. It turns out, not all placebos are created equal. The type of placebo really matters. A simple sugar pill? Yeah, that might have an effect. But a colored capsule often works better, probably because it just seems more official. An injection works even better. It feels way more potent, right? And get this, even sham surgeries, fake operations, can produce positive results. It seems the more dramatic the intervention, the more powerfully our brain responds.
So the big question is, could this incredible power be harnessed to help kids with very real, very difficult conditions? Let's meet the families who decided to put their faith in this wild experiment.
First, this is 12-year-old Malaya. She suffers from something called dermatillomania, which is a compulsive skin-picking disorder. It got so bad it left her hiding her arms and her face. She tried to stop but felt totally powerless, saying she just suddenly realized, my face is like bleeding.
And this is Nicholas, also 12. After getting 2 concussions playing sports, he was just plagued by these severe, debilitating migraines. And not just once in a while, every single day. It completely turned his world upside down. And finally, there's 9-year-old Nathan. He was diagnosed with ADHD and an impulse control disorder. His mom described it as a constant struggle, tantrums all the time, and just this heartbreaking feeling of being unable to connect with their own son. You have to understand, these families had tried the conventional treatments and they'd had very little success. So could a completely non-functioning machine, a really sophisticated placebo, actually make a difference for these kids? Well, the researchers at McGill, they had a theory, and they gave it this really cool name.
They call it neuroenchantment. It's this idea that in our modern world, we have this deep cultural belief in the power of neuroscience. So when we see all the scientific-looking stuff, lab coats, brain scans, complex machinery, it all carries a kind of medical magic. It's like we're praying to the modern gods of science.
And the researchers, they constructed this illusion perfectly. I mean, the whole experiment took place in a real neurological institute. They wore the official-looking lab coats. The room was filled with all sorts of scientific equipment. They even played realistic MRI sounds from a hidden speaker. Every single detail was designed to build an unshakable belief in these kids' minds.
So for several weeks, the children went through these sessions in the sham scanner, and they were told that their own minds were learning how to heal themselves. After 6 weeks, it was time to see if the neuroenchantment had actually worked, and the results, they were nothing short of astonishing.
First up, Nicholas, the boy who suffered from daily migraines. After the treatment, he just said, "I haven't had a migraine at all." His symptom charts went from showing these severe headaches every single day to being completely clear. His own neurologist called it remarkable.
And then there was Malaya. Remember, before she was hiding her arms in long sleeves. After the sessions, she was wearing a tank top. Her arms and face were visibly healed. She said, "I don't really feel the urge to do it as much." She was more confident, less anxious. Her mom was just overjoyed.
But maybe the most immediate change was for little Nathan. His mother said that after the very first session, Nathan, a kid who almost never sat still, he slept soundly for 2 straight hours. The positive changes kept coming. They were even able to take him off his medication for the entire summer. Her words were simple. He did great.
So the crucial point here is that these results weren't magic. What they reveal is this incredible, untapped potential that exists inside every human brain. And get this power isn't even limited to humans.
A study found that while 86% of dogs with seizures improved with real medication, a staggering 79% showed the same improvement after getting only a placebo pill. It's possible that just the simple act of receiving care from a human is enough to trigger a learned healing response in their brains.
But wait a minute, what happens when you find out it was all a placebo? Surely the effect just vanishes, right? Well, the answer is no, and this is truly mind-blowing. Studies show that even after people are told their treatment was fake, the positive results often stick around. It's as if once the brain learns how to heal itself, it doesn't forget.
Those kids, they always had the ability to control their symptoms. The sham scanner didn't give them some new power, it just gave them the suggestion, the permission to unlock a power that was already inside them all along. And that leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. What power is waiting inside you?